Omo, the truth don't finally come out, and if we're being honest, 2027 go rugged, like for real. It is already looking like a full-blown political chess match. See as these people they use different formats to say their candidates. Today they go talk say coalition no make sense. Tomorrow them they support arm Loki. Confusion everywhere. In fact, Seun Okinbaloye was speechless when Kenneth Okonkwo started dropping hot takes on national TV for that matter. This na the same Kenneth wey tok say Peter Obi is committing political suicide, but now e be like say everybody dey ask the same question: is coalition really the only way to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027? Well, make e no be like say I dey talk too much.
You are in one of the committees working on the ground.
Well, we want to operate in a manner that is not so. We don't want to like explain anything, but just know that I'm part of the coalition.
And Mr. Peter Obi is there too. Atiku Abubakar is there. El-Rufai is there.
Now,
Nasir El-Rufai, David Mark, all of you are in that group.
what is a coalition? Combine, an alliance for combined action. So it's open to everybody.
All commerce affair.
In Nigeria, a political party is constitutionally open to everybody. Now, if you want to be a part of a coalition, nobody's going to stop you. But at this stage of talking, you will know that there will always be different layers of talking, different committees set up. But I can tell you, the engine rooms of this coalition, a lot of them you don't even know. APC will not know what hits them coming 2027. When you are dealing with the ruling party and you're in the opposition party, you have to possess exceptional skills, exceptional attributes. You must have to be strong, but you should not be brutal. You should not be reckless, but you have to be courageous. You should not be priggish, but you have to be honest. You should not be proud, but you have to be confident. You should not be a braggart or self-conceited, but you have to be intelligent. You should not be sentimental, but you have to be very compassionate. And of course, you have to be charismatic. Now, all these attributes, if you don't have it, remember, you cannot outdo the ruling party in terms of resources. You have to inspire the people by these attributes so that even when you don't give them money, they will be able to be convinced. But here is the problem, why you should not have the other side of what I was saying. The ruling party, with all their braggadocio, they will use all those equipment they have, that whenever you show strength, they would want to tell the world you are brutal. Whenever you show courage, they want to tell the world you're reckless. So that they will put in you that fear that you should not exhibit those attributes. That's why I say in 2027, we are going to match them by showing strength and courage. And they would never intimidate us by trying to make the world to think that we are reckless and that we are brutal. Because when you are defending your own turf, as in when they want to rig election this time, we have to demonstrate strength and courage.
So you are going for the roots, for the muscle, and for the energy of the APC. You're not even waiting until after the 2027 election. You want to take them out, because a lot of people say, yes, whatever your coalition is doing is not going to bear any fruit in 2027. It's going to be after the election, because it's now too late for them to play any damage against the APC. Considering all of the defection, everybody seems to be going to the APC now.
Yes, that's why I told you we will not succumb to their braggadocio. All those things are, okay, let's talk about the Northeast. When they were telling you endorsement, what happened? They went to Northeast and made a vote of no confidence on Shetima. And you saw the crisis that erupted. Forget whatever they are telling you. They went to Northwest, and people were pulling down the billboards of Tinubu. They went to Benue, the same thing. And a man was on a television station, and he told you, any arrangement, I don't care what it is, any arrangement that will take out Tinubu, I will be involved. That is the state that Nigerians have entered into. You're talking about suicide bombing, returning to Nigeria. 18 was just cleared up in Borno in something that was anticipated. because the governor kept shouting about it. You're talking about people now so jittery about their life that they can kill any foreigner around them. It happened in Plateau. It happened in Edo, just because communities are so tensed that any little thing makes them to start killing. If they do not defend themselves, they will be killed. When you allow them to defend themselves, they will go to the other extreme of killing innocent people.
But here's a question.
Yes.
So, and I see, I'll mention 5 personalities for you that gave some level of breadth and energy to the APC's merger.
Right.
One of them is the president, Bola Tinubu, of the APC. It was a very strong pillar that came into the merger from the ACN. You talk about Atiku Abubakar, who was emerging from the PDP. You talk about Rotimi Amechipi, an aggrieved man in the PDP as a governor of Rivers State at the time. You also will talk about someone like Bukola Saraki, who was also in the PDP, who came into the APC. And you talk all of these people. If you mention Saraki out of the APC, Rotimi Amechi looks like his heart is out of the party. Atiku Abubakar sings out of the APC. So the only people that you probably, and you have the Muhammadu Buhari of the CPC, then Rocha Sokorocha of the APGA wing. Now, all of these people who understood how APC was formed are now part of the coalition. Would you say that knowledge, that understanding, especially of Bola Tinubu politics, is enough this time around?
Now, people were not in that strait when you were talking about as they are in now. Things have gone so bad that what we have in Nigeria today is the people of Nigeria against APC, the ruling party. It was not that bad during Goodluck Jonathan's time. It was the sentiment of zoning. It was the sentiment that Yaradua died in office. It was the sentiment that we would not allow Yaradua's death to be used against us. So there was a kind of sentiment flowing then. The economy was good. The GDP then was $500 and something billion. Today, the GDP is about $100 and something billion. Today, as at that time, Nigerians went to the streets for an increment of oil price by 25 naira, about 65 to 95. Today, under Bola Tinubu, we are paying 1,000 naira per liter, almost. And so, as at that time, it was the elites against the elites. But now, it's the people of Nigeria against Tinubu. And that is why a man is telling you any arrangement.
Who was that?
I'm talking about the former governor of Jigawa State, Lamido.
Sule Lamido.
Yes.
Well, he has been corrected when he said that Tinubu is a later saint of the June 12 struggle, and that Tinubu supported the annulment, which the president.
I don't even know why people say that Tinubu fought for democracy. I don't understand.
He was a backer of the Nadeco.
Excuse me? From London? 24 hours electricity?
Most of the
pipe and water flowing freely for you. You're enjoying yourself.
Were in exile.
And those ones in exile, they are exiled politicians.
But he was also.
How can you say
he was also on the streets
for democracy?
With those who on the inside in Nadeco knows the role Bola Tinubu played. Because some of us are not children then.
So the businessman supplying money, but you will not allow any personal discomfort on yourself.
So you didn't think that
when things became
Tinubu's role was that significant?
When things became so tough in Nigeria, you ran away. He demonstrated how you ran away on television then. He said he acted like an old man and then crossed the border. And you're telling me he fought for democracy? How? People died here. Abraham Adesanya was put in jail. Bedbug everywhere in his body. He came out from the jail. He did not run away. And this is a politician that, during the regime of Abacha, he ran away. And you're saying he fought for democracy. How? Because the people that were dying, what did they then fight for? Those people that were put in Gulag. A man is enjoying himself, like I always said, in an Owambe, moves in London. And he said he fought for who? I was in Nigeria. I was grown up. I knew the people that fought for me. I knew the people that died for democracy. Those ones I will respect. But they can't tell me that with your money as rich as you are, and that's what most of them will do if Nigeria collapses. That's why the people of Nigeria must hold up Nigeria, must not allow it to fall. Because once it falls, all these pretenders that they fight for democracy, they will all run away. And they will go abroad.
You were once a believer of Bola Tinubu. What changed?
I will not understand what you mean, believer of Bola Tinubu. I was in the same party with him, APC, at a certain point.
But he was the leader of your party at the time.
He was.
If you didn't believe in the party?
Yes. I mean, when he became the presidential candidate and picked a fellow Muslim, I left. So if I was a believer of him, I would have followed.
Well, if not for that decision, you probably would have been in APC by now, still being in APC.
If they had done the right things, which they ought to do, I wouldn't have left APC.
But look at it now.
I have my principles.
Yeah, look at what is going on.
The security was degenerating. The economy was going down. And then they now added the fact of nepotism. And then our inclusivity was destroyed under Bola Tinubu. So he even gave me no option. For me, that believes in our diversity, that believes that the Christians should be allowed to perch, the Muslims should be allowed to perch, the North should be allowed to perch, the South should be allowed to perch. As an artist, when I go through, bed of flowers, and I see different flowers with different colors mixing up, it gives me that beautiful aesthetic feeling. I love diversity. Anybody that is cantankerous to our spirit of diversity, I will not support you.
But look at it.
Yes, in appointments.
So you look at what is going on in the APC. And I mentioned virtually everyone that you see in the video.
Yes.
In that coalition, they were formerly in the APC. What is the difference between this coalition and the present APC?
Good.
They were more or less, a few years ago,
yes,
all of them singing from the same hymn book. So why should Nigerians see the coalition and the APC differently?
Now, everybody you see in APC, we are formerly in PDP, apart from probably Tinubu and Oshomole. Every other person came from PDP. So if I want to take your argument, that means we should go back, that it is still PDP.
No, some people were in CPC, some were in ANPP. Some people have never been in PDP before.
I agree.
In the present
We're talking
APC.
about in present situation.
APC, in the present APC. I can mention list of people who have never been in PDP.
No, we're talking about
CPC,
the prominent
ANPP,
ones.
And...
Good. You just named the ones that were in APC. Most of them came from PDP. In those names that you name, and went to APC. So they were actually returning to their home.
The question here, Mr. Okonkwo, is the fact that why should Nigeria, because all of a sudden, your description of the APC is as such like a group of people who are impoverishing, a group of people who are causing Nigerian pains. But the fact remains that the ideologies of these people that you are describing and labeling in this manner, they were in the same. They were formed from the same fabric. So how do you then tell Nigerians that, oh look, these same people are now born again and they are different from this other lot? What makes a difference?
I was with you on this show when we were campaigning for 2023. I told you I do no longer pay any respect to any so-called manifesto, if you recall. And that is because they were written by brilliant professors. Some of the candidates do not even know what is in those manifestos. Is it not happening now? The president, in their manifesto, they promised 12% growth of GDP per year. What are we seeing? So he may not even know what was in the manifesto. Did he ever attend any debate? Did he ever attend any program to defend the manifesto? I said any candidate that cannot come and sit on the hot seat and shall interview the person, Nigerians should not take the person seriously, and they should not think about what is in the manifesto, because the president or whoever must be the candidate might not even know what is in the manifesto. So we have come to that part where people now know that even parties that have beautiful ideologies, those ideologies, once you elect the candidate, if he is not intellectually savvy, those ideologies will be...
So because the reasoning of so many Nigerians is that all these politicians are the same. And difficult to believe them because they're more or less the same. What message? I'm saying, what are you telling yourselves in the coalition?
What we're saying,
because there must be a message that will resonate.
Absolutely,
saying it's Nigerians against the APC.
Yes.
APC will say they are with the Nigerian people, they are for the Nigerian people.
Yes.
Who should we now believe as Nigerian people?
Now, let me be very honest with you. In Nigeria, just like when we had military regime, any revolution by any officer of the middle or lower cadre never succeeded in Nigeria. Whether from Kaduna and Zogu, whether through Bokasoka Dinka, whether through Oka. And there is a reason for that. And that is why in Nigeria, we need a man of conscience who is experienced, who might even be from the old cadre, but has made up his mind that he wants a new Nigeria. If you're expecting a younger person to come in the midst of these sharks, they will swallow him up. And I'm telling you, an Obama can come to Nigeria and will not win election. Not because people will not vote for him, but they will steal it from him. So what we have now in Nigeria is that we have a system that needs to be fought, that needs to be taken out.
Can you trust the people we are seeing in that video? That the new wave of Nigerian politicians that are going to cause change? Because if some people have said Nigerians rejected PDP.
Yes.
You are saying Nigerians no longer like APC, but these are a combination of the two parties.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. Assuming an article comes into power, assuming, and takes us back to the Obasanjo years, he would have been a hero. He would have paid up all our debts. He would not acquire new debts. He would have made sure there's no security problem all around Nigeria. He was the vice president. I'm just using him as an example because he's the only person that has been in the presidency from 1999. Assuming he can even take us, because it is the terribleness of the successive government that keeps beatifying the predecessors. I never knew any government would be worse than Buhari's government. I must be very honest with you.
Are you saying that the Tinubu government is
the worst in the history of this country?
Is that fair to say?
How would
Based on the policy direction of this government?
How would I define a president that from the first day in office, when even there is a law that says fuel subsidy will go by June 30th, and the first thing you were able to say, fuel subsidy gone. And on top of it, you floated the Naira. Who told you?
Is it a bad thing to do? Flotation of the Naira?
Let me tell you.
Isn't that what a lot of the economists were?
It's a terrible thing to do. Let me tell you why. And I'm an economist. The only thing that will sustain your Naira is a strong industrial base and a steady export market. What is sustaining your Naira vis-a-vis foreign currency is not your ability to print more Naira. It's your ability to export more products.
Even when your Naira is totally dependent on foreign consumption.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you producing?
That is why you cannot float it. What you should do is to make policies and implement policies that will sustain Naira. How do you do it? You must endeavor to put in policies that will stop and minimize your import, so that your export will be higher, so that the demand for Naira will be higher than the demand for
So it was a bad decision as far as
very terrible.
But let me ask you quickly, sir.
And the policies they are implementing, they're increasing importation more.
Now?
They just liberalize your importing rice again, importing this, and that is why the people that are producing locally are folding up and suffering.
Let's come to this and quickly. There are those who believe that Tinubu will have an easy work to victory in 2027. That in fact, his 33% victory margin will be doubled in 2027.
Yes.
Are you worried about that?
That's why I told you that it's braggadocio. Me bragging.
So
Where is the vote coming from?
You think it cannot happen?
Nigerians would rather not go and vote at all.
Their party controls more than half of the state of the federation.
More people endorsed Goodluck Jonathan.
So that could be a template.
For 2015 election.
Are you
endorsing Tinubu?
Are you aware that?
And yet,
are you aware that there are those who are saying that the chairmanship, the pro tem chairman, is a southern man? It means that there's a likelihood that the new coalition presidential candidate might come from the north.
I have said it clearly. Nobody is going to stop anybody from contesting for the presidential ticket in the coalition. Nobody.
So an El-Rufai can be a candidate?
If he wants to.
Atiku can be a candidate?
Yes.
Even when there is a Buhari of 8 years, Bola Tinubu of 4 years?
And that is where...
Would that be a balance in the minds of Nigerians?
No. Let's come... That is why I am going to support, after this time around, 1 term for any executive position. 1 term of 6 years. Because these 2 terms bring us into confusion when somebody had taken 1 term. Why? Politicians have shown that it's very difficult to trust, even when the person promises 1 term. So if somebody had taken a term from the south, and it is in middle of the game, and the person is not performing like Tinubu, you're going to get into a problem. If you get another southerner, he's going to be there for 8 years. The North will say, no, this is injustice.
All right.
Nobody will allow Tinubu to continue.
Let's close quickly. And just in less than 60 seconds.
So the best is to throw it open. When the best comes in, every other person will support the best. And the person will promise to do 4 years.
You told me in an interview that Atiku and Peter Obi are none of your option.
And Tinubu? That was my opinion. That was my personal opinion.
In the coalition, it does look like you might be back to a man who believe that you betrayed him, that you are like a Judas.
Well, you know, I will allow Obi to be entitled to his own opinion. In our religion, you don't fight for God. Since he made an insinuation that Jesus had 12 and 1 turned against him, that means he's even claiming now he's the Jesus in the analogy. So he made an insinuation of betrayal.
Peter Obi?
No. How can you betray somebody you're not working for?
He didn't pay you money throughout all the time?
I didn't ask for any.
He didn't give you a house?
I did not ask for any.
Did you get a house?
I did not ask for any.
Did you get?
I couldn't have gotten.
Did you get money?
I did not ask for any.
So how did you betray him?
No, he should tell me.
Were you walking behind him, against him?
When I worked for him, I never consulted any politician. And I'm making a public statement. I never talked with any political party.
So you were 100% loyal to him?
100%.
So why does he think that you are disloyal?
When I left, I told the whole world. And your program was even one of those programs that I used to tell the whole world. I said, from now onwards, I am not going to speak for this person again. They don't understand what betrayal means. But again, anybody who is writing or saying anything about me is a reflection of who that person is, not a reflection of who I am.
All right.
For I know who I am. I am Kenneth Okonkwo. My name responds only to the service to the Nigerian people and not to the slander of the Nigerian braggarts.
Kenneth Okonkwo,
yes.
Thank you so much indeed.
Omo, 2027 never even reached, but tension don already start. From Kenneth's hot takes to Seun's reaction, it is clear say the political game go loud this time. So the big question remains, na coalition be the only way to shake Tinubu's camp? Or are we just watching the same movie from 2023 play all over again? Abeg, kindly drop your honest thoughts in the comments. Let's know if you agree with what Kenneth say or you think na clouds. And if you dey enjoy this gist wey dey hot and straight to the point like this, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you no go miss any new updates. Until next time, stay woke, stay informed. Peace.